Rachel. I'm the owner of Skin Lounge in Richmond, and I've been a skin specialist for over 20 years, and I'm here to help you master the basics of skincare and what's important. So I created this pyramid called the Posh Pyramid, which I know you'll love here, which we use for our clients in clinic, and it's really to help determine what ingredients are important, what products are important, because I think it's a real difficult subject to understand when you've got all of these serums and all of these different things, what's important to use. So I'm in clinic right now, so I'm trying to be not too loud, and equally if you hear some noises, it's because we're still operating. I've just snuck into a room to do a video. We have at the bottom our must-haves. So must-haves mean non-negotiable. They're something we absolutely have to have in our skincare regime, regardless of age, regardless of gender. You must have these in your skincare regime to keep your skin healthy. The bottom one here is cleanser. Now, this sounds really basic and you think, well, of course, cleansing in your washing is important. We'll often not necessarily regard that as an important step or think, oh, I'll just get a simple or a basic cleanser. Now the thing is, and it's really, really important to cleanse properly. So, because if you don't cleanse your skin properly initially, what happens is that you will do one of two things. You will either take too much good stuff away. So you'll strip back the oil, you'll strip back all the good stuff by using a really harsh cleanser with lots of perfume. So it's just going to be too much for your skin and you'll leave it exposed to damage. Or you're not cleansing it correctly enough in the sense that you won't be taking off your sunscreen and your makeup or moisturizer that you've worn during the day. And then what will happen is that your next thing that you do doesn't penetrate the skin properly, doesn't go into the skin properly. So cleansing is absolutely essential that it's done properly. A good quality cleanser, like I said, we don't want to strip the skin so that it gets damaged, and we equally want to clean it enough that it then absorbs the next layer of your routine. So cleanser, exceptionally important. I'm going to do a separate video on how to cleanse, and I'll actually demonstrate it and show you on my face so that you can see actually what that process needs to look like, because there's some top tips there as well. The next thing is antioxidant. Now this is a bit of a weird, scary word. Antioxidants protect your cells from damage in all of your cells of your body. So people will say eat 5 a day and eat your greens and your berries and things because they contain antioxidants. Imagine we don't want to damage those cells from the environment, and actually they can damage from within as well. Just know that you need to have them to protect your skin cells. They are an absolute must. Because again, there's no point in putting really strong ingredients on your skin if you're not protecting those cells. We can't regenerate them, stimulate new cells if you're just going to damage them again. So antioxidants are really, really important. The next thing is sunscreen. So sunscreen, and ideally what you'll find is a sunscreen that contains antioxidants. So then you can do that 2-in-1. But your sunscreen, again, I could do a whole separate video on sunscreen because there's lots of variables of what is good and what is not. The one in your foundation probably isn't doing the job. So I would say don't necessarily think you're using sunscreen in your foundation because they're often not very good and they're not proper graded sun protection. You want a proper sunscreen, and you should be looking for something that has UVA protection and UVB protection. So your UVA is protecting you from the aging rays, which are there all the time and are as strong in January as they are in July. So they're the things that are actually damaging your skin cells on a daily basis. And so you want UVA filters, exceptionally important. And then the other thing that's important is the UVB, which is the number in your sunscreen, because that's going to be the protection level against the UVB rays that are causing your skin to burn. So those two things are really, really important. They're not all born equal. We can go through that in more detail another time. I can do a whole separate video on sunscreen because it's such an important subject. Again, no point in having these amazing laser facials or using retinol and things like that if you're not then going to be protecting the skin. So I see the antioxidant and your sun protection 2-in-1 ideally, because then you know, even on a bad day, if you're like, I'm in such a rush, I've got no time for anything. Worst case scenario, whack some sunscreen on. Even if you don't wash your face, put sunscreen on, because that's your protection. And during the day, that's what matters. You really must protect your skin during the day from damage, because that's going to help you not to age, and you're going to see massive improvements in your skin as well. The next layer is your good to haves. So these are the next step up. So start with the must haves. Make sure you tick those boxes properly. Make sure you're absolutely using the ones that are the best to use for your skin. Don't just skip those thinking, oh, they're not that important. They're the must haves. Must be awesome. So exfoliator, very, very important, okay? When your skin regenerates, goes from the bottom to the top, that's called cell regeneration. When it goes from the bottom to the top, what can happen is, as we age, that process really slows down the way that the cells grow from the bottom to the top. It really, really slows down. And so what we need to do is ensure that we're not allowing this bit on the surface to become too thick. When it does, as we age, it will be quite grey and dull and lifeless. And you might think, what's happened to my skin? I feel like I've aged like 10 years, what's happening? And actually it's not that you've aged 10 years. You probably just have got a build-up of dead skin that will then just look really unhealthy when it sits on the surface. So you must really work on exfoliation. Something like St. Ives, peach, whatever it's called, horrible scrub, don't use that. I'd rather you use nothing than that. Make sure you speak to a professional, make sure you get something good, because certain exfoliators actually will make your skin worse. Because if they got beads in, they can actually be scratching the skin. They need to be spherical. They need to be absolutely milled really fine to ensure that they're not scratching your skin, because what we see in clinic on a daily basis is damage that's being created by people using the wrong cosmetics for their skin. Oily skin type, maybe only once every 2 weeks. 10 days would be your absolute max. You wouldn't be doing it any sooner than that, because it will stimulate oil, and we don't want that if you've got too much already. So if you've got problem skin, every 10 days to 2 weeks. If you've got normal skin, 7 to 10 days. And if you've got very dry skin that's quite strong still, maybe even up to twice a week. But that would be your maximum. So those like daily exfoliant things, I hate those. Don't use those. They're really not going to give you anything good. And in fact, they could just be damaging and stressing your skin. And like I said, no St. Ives, that's very bad, very bad. Then we've got your vitamins. So yours A, C and E. Vitamin A is retinol. So if you've heard retinol, people talk about retinol all the time. So retinol you've probably heard of. Again, not all born equal, so don't just wing this stuff. Again, it could be causing damage to your skin if you're using it incorrectly. So 2 ingredients clinically proven to reverse the signs of aging. One of them is retinol and the other one is peptides, which we'll go on to. So it really is essential for pretty much everybody. Again, please ask advice. There are things that you could be doing really wrong here. If you're applying it incorrectly, if you're applying it too frequently, at the wrong end of the day, please don't just wing this. This is really, really important, but it is insane and I wouldn't not use it. It's incredible. It will be the one thing that I say to my clients is it will literally change the way your cells function. It will make them better, especially as we age, everything slows down and becomes lazy. So this one will literally give your skin a kickstart or kick it in the arse to make it better. So please, vitamin A, but seek advice because it could be terrible. Vitamin C is an antioxidant, puts a little bubble around your skin cells and fights off any free radicals, which are the sort of pollutants, the damage that's coming into the cell. So it will put a little bubble around your cell and protect it. Vitamin C also does really amazing other things like stimulating collagen. It also is really brightening. So if you have pigment, vitamin C is essential. But again, vitamin C is not born equal. Vitamin C's don't have anything that smells of orange in them. They're not derived from orange, so they shouldn't have the smell of orange, and they shouldn't be orange in colour. They're colours that they put in to make you think that signifies, oh, orange means an orange, which vitamin C, orange is. Okay, that sounds good. And it smells like it, great. I'm getting all my vitamin C. No. Not completely incorrect. Again, I will do a whole video on vitamin C so that you can understand what that means, because they are mostly terrible. But if you get a good one, they will be a game changer for your skin and just protect those lovely, gorgeous cells that you have. Vitamin E is another antioxidant, and that makes vitamin C work better. So your vitamin C should also contain a vitamin E ingredient. That should be a 2-in-1, that one. You wouldn't need to be using those two separately. So a C and an E should be in your vitamin C product. So your vitamin C and E is going to be your daytime product. It's your cell protection. And then your vitamin A is going to be the thing that changes your skin, that makes it work better, that makes it de-age, that makes the pigment better, that makes your skin brighter. So the combination of these two is why it's a good to have. They would be in my must-haves, but it's very, very good to have, again, if they're the right ones. The last thing on the good to haves is a hydrator. Everyone needs hydration. We dehydrate at a ridiculous rate, and our skin is not our body's priority. Your skin is your largest organ, but it's not the most important. If you dehydrate, your skin will survive. Your internal organs won't. So your body will prioritize your water to your internal organs. So you must use an external hydrator, because like I said, your internal body will be using your water more than your skin is needed. You will survive with dehydrated skin, even though it won't look very nice. These are really variable and mostly terrible, because they mostly contain horrible perfumes and silicons and things to make you feel as though your skin is plumped and hydrated and it feels thick and luscious. Well, that's not what you need at all. If anything, I tend to use something lighter that can actually penetrate into the bit that is alive, rather than this bit that you see now, which is completely dead. So I would tend to use a much lighter hydrator, something like hyaluronic acid, but the sodium hyaluronate, which is, again, another video. This is a really important question to ask yourself, and you'll know then if your hydrator is working for you. When you wash your face, morning or evening, whichever, and you pat it dry, how does your skin feel? If your skin feels dry, and that's the reason you need to use creme de la mer, I hear this in clinic all the time. I can't live without creme de la mer because it's thickest and it's so hydrating. Why is your skin still dry? Ask yourself that question, because the reason it's still dry is because it's not hydrating your skin. In fact, it will do the opposite. When you put really thick products on your face, your skin will stop functioning at such a good level. What all of the products I use in clinic and recommend to my patients is, we want to trick your skin, or actually force your skin to work at a higher function, like we did when we were children. We didn't use moisturiser when we were kids because our skin functionality was so good. Moisturiser should not be so thick and lard-like that it's doing it for you. What we want your skin to do is to do it for itself. And so light hydrators, which we'll talk about in the future, light hydrators work much better because they will penetrate the skin, stimulate the moisture in your skin, which is called a gag cell. The thing that holds your skin water is called a gag cell. And as we age, they get quite flat. And so what we need to do is put a little signal into your skin to start filling up those gag cells, which will plump the skin and hydrate it without needing these thick lard-like products that do very little, if anything, make your skin lazy. But they are very, very important. We do need them because we do lose a ridiculous amount of hydration, even during the day. So your hydrator needs to be in there as a very good to have, very, very good to have. Nice to haves become a little bit more complicated. So your peptide, what we discussed earlier, is the second only ingredient that is clinically proven to reverse the signs of aging. So that's really, really nice to have, because, and like I said, with the products we work with, the peptides tend to be in alongside vitamin A, vitamin C, your hydrator. So actually they're not necessarily something that you need to use separately. It wouldn't be actually something you need to use separately. You should be looking for this in your good to have section. That should be kicking around in there. Something really potent and strong that sits alongside your good to have. So that's not going to be something that is a separate product. You shouldn't really be looking for that. You should be looking for more multitasking products. So your peptide, really, really nice to have. And as I said, in my skincare, it's in 4 of the items I use during the day. So I'm definitely getting my peptides. Really anti-aging, really good. These anti-glycation, so the sugars break down collagen, the amino acid chain that makes protein in your skin, which is collagen, is broken down by sugar. So what these anti-glycation ingredients do is they help to strengthen the ones that we have and help to fight against the sugars that are in our skin. So that's your anti-glycation. That will be something really only medical skincare will contain, so that will not be something you find on the high street. So this again is why it sits in the nice to have category. This is a more advanced ingredient. Again, I use this every single day without fail. And then your correctors. So this will be something like if you have lots of redness, or you have rosacea, or you have pigmentation, or you have acne. So something that's corrective. Because even if I have rosacea, sensitivity, acne, a skin condition, even if I have that, cleansers and sunscreen, still the most important. The correctors still don't sit that high up in there. Your vitamin to protect your skin cells, still the most important. Exfoliators, still very important. Might be more of a gentle version, but we still need them to get rid of this dead stuff, because actually that can be making your acne or rosacea or sensitivity worse. And then also your hydrators, still really important. We need hydration. So it's still, correctors still sit up in this nice to have, because the other things are still a priority, but your correctors are very important if you have a skin condition particularly. This optimal one up here is your professional skin treatments. I use mainly technology and ingredients to change the way your skin works, to make your skin the best it can be. But I had to still put it up here in optimal, because if these things, particularly these 2 bottom ones, are not being done, this one is pointless. You are wasting your money. And that's hard for me to say because that's what I specialize in. But without these, you're going to really struggle to get results. We see this a lot. We tend to only really work with people that are willing to listen to our advice, because they get the best results. We get the best results for them. It makes us happy. And so this optimal one up here is your professional skin treatments. That comes last, once you've covered at least these 2 bottom of your pyramid. So your professional skin treatments could be from anything from something like LED phototherapy, which is light therapy. So that even for somebody that's got severe rosacea that you can barely touch, can still have something like that, which will help to take down the inflammation and to help to calm the skin and repair the skin. Or even severe acne, which again, I might only start off with a cleanser and a sunscreen and nothing else, because it's so severe. But then we can work with our optimizing with something like LED phototherapy. So this professional skin category is again a whole nother video. There's lots and lots we can do here. This video is more for the basics of skincare. That's what I created this posh pyramid for. So that it was easy for you to understand what it is that you need to prioritize with your skin. People come in, I'm using all of these products and I'm not really getting results. I'm not getting the results that I deserve. I'm putting in all the effort, and I feel quite sad because they really are. They put a lot of money, a lot of time and a lot of effort into using their skincare, and the results